I've sold over $3 million worth of portraits in my career, and I'm going to tell you something that still might shock you. I don't own the latest camera and I don't even know what it's called. I don't have a collection of expensive props. I don't invest in paid advertising for my photography business. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can you be a professional photographer without those things? Everyone says you need them. But here's what I've learned over 28 years of being in business. The photography industry wants you to believe you need more. More gear, more props, more technology, more everything. And it's costing you thousands of dollars that could be going toward things that actually grow your business. So today, I'm walking you through the 5 things I refuse to waste money on. And I'm going to show you exactly what I spend money on instead. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Sarah Petty, and I've been running a boutique print-based portrait photography studio for 28 years. And I've helped over 32,000 photographers build profitable family-first businesses without going broke buying a bunch of stuff. Let's dive in. The first thing I don't waste money on is stockpiling props. Now, I like some props and I do use them, but I'm not spending thousands of dollars buying them new because one time I bought this antique baby buggy and it was $500, which was a lot of money when I first started. And I used it one time and then I thought, I'm just an upscale JC Penney's. I'm not using it again. Listen, I've met photographers who spend thousands, $5,000, $10,000 or more a year on props. They're buying every new backdrop, every trendy basket, every seasonal item they see other photographers using. And here's the problem. Props have a really low return on their investment. Your clients aren't booking you because of your prop collection. They're booking you because of the experience you create and the finished portraits that go on their walls. So what do I do instead? For one, I love using my clients' props, their furniture, things that are meaningful to them. But for myself, I get creative. I go to auctions and I find old doors, vintage stools, interesting furniture. I paint things, I make my own backdrops, and it's really a creative outlet for me so that my photography doesn't look like everyone else's. And think about it, I save $4,000 a year doing this. Over 28 years, that's over $100,000 I didn't have to spend on stupid props. Think about what you could do with an extra $100,000 in your business. The second thing I don't waste money on is paid advertising. Now, before you close this video, hear me out because I was a marketing director at an ad agency and that's what we did for our clients. Paid ads can work, right? And I get that too because we spend a small fortune here on paid ads at Photography Business Institute. But keep in mind, I have an entire team to run them and we are an international organization. So we are having to use ads to reach people all over the world. You're likely marketing in your city. For a business like that, a boutique photography business, paid ads are a huge risk, and for most photographers, they have a very low return on their investment. Here's why. To make ads profitable, you need digital marketing skills, you need copywriting skills, media buying skills, targeting skills, web page design skills, offer creation skills, graphic design skills, and video production skills. You have to learn all of that or you have to pay someone who already knows it. Okay? And even then, you can spend thousands of dollars just to train Meta on the type of client you're looking for. That's if you're in a smaller market, and if you're in a larger city, it's so much more expensive than that. And here's the thing. Marketing's job is just to generate the leads. Sales' job is to get on the phone and talk to the lead. So if you're generating leads and you don't know how to book them and turn them into a client, you're wasting money. Even your average client needs to come in and invest at least as much for you to break even with your ads. So, my friend, unless you have all those massive digital marketing skills or you're consistently getting 3K plus orders, paid ads are going to drain your bank account. So what do I do instead? I focus on relationship marketing, partnership marketing, referral marketing, strategies that build connections with my ideal clients without just dumping money on ads and thinking that's going to save a broken business model. The third thing I definitely don't waste money on is online client ordering galleries. Now, I know this one is going to be controversial because everyone in the industry says you need one. These companies are everywhere. But here's what nobody talks about. Sure, these platforms cost between 50 and 40 bucks per month on average. Some go as high as 70 to 100 bucks, depending on their storage and features. But here's the thing. Over 28 years, if I'd paid $25 a month for one of these services, that's over $8,000, and that's being conservative. But the monthly fee isn't even the real problem. The real problem is what online client ordering galleries do to your sales. When you send clients a link to go view their images online, they're sitting at home in their pajamas, scrolling on their phone, distracted by life, getting overwhelmed and getting decision fatigue because you gave them so many great choices. They're not experiencing the emotional impact of seeing their portraits beautifully displayed. They're not getting guidance on what would look best in their home or their office. And they're definitely not investing as much as they would in person with the artist sitting there guiding them because they hit overwhelm, decision fatigue sets in, and they're afraid of making a mistake. So they don't even order. I've seen this happen over and over. Photographers tell me their average order is 300 to 800 bucks, and when I ask how they're selling, they say online galleries. Friend, that creates something that we call expense creep. You're paying monthly for something that's actively contributing to smaller sales. What do I do instead? I do something called boutique in-person sales presentations. We call them BIPs. And it's different than what everyone in the market is teaching because I want to make sure it follows the flow of my system. Every single time my clients come to the studio, or if I'm out of town, I just go to their home and we view their images together because I know that I'm serving them. So in my studio, I project the images large on a blank wall, but I also have a small portable projector that I can take to my clients' homes, or in a jam, I could Zoom with them if they're out of state, or I could just use my laptop and sit with them, which is highly preferred. And I help them design their wall collections, and my average order is way over $5,000. And it's not because I'm a better photographer. It's because I control the sales environment and I created a process that serves the client first. So if you're paying for an online client ordering gallery and wondering why your sales are low, you might be solving the wrong problem. The fourth thing I don't want to waste money on is constantly upgrading my gear and chasing every new gadget that hits the market. I get it, we're photographers, we love all of these toys, but this is a really big one because the photography industry has convinced us that we need the latest camera and the newest lenses and every new little tool that comes out. But here's the truth. The gear I use to get 10,000K plus orders is consistently and incredibly simple. I photograph with a Canon EOS R6 that I bought, 5 years ago for like 2,600 bucks. I have a couple lenses. I have a Canon RF 24 to 70 millimeter f2.8. That was about 2,400 bucks. I have a Canon RF 70 to 200 2.8. That was like 2,800 bucks. And I have some others that I've bought just because I could, but these are the workhorses that I use all the time. And I use a simple stand-up reflector that costs less than 100 bucks. That's it. Anything you invest in beyond that just isn't necessary. Now, let me show you the math on how much this saves. Canon releases a new pro camera body every about 2 to 4 years. A complete system replacement, body plus lenses, if you're upgrading, costs around $8,000 if you buy it new. And if I had replaced my entire system every 5 years over 28 years, I would have spent at least $43,000. But here's what I actually did. For the first 20 years of my career, I used digital SLR cameras. I replaced the camera body every, 8, 10 years when a massive breakthrough happened, which cost me around 10 to 12 grand over those 20 years. And because DSLR lenses work across different camera bodies in the same system, I spent very little on lenses during that entire period. It wasn't until about 2021 that I made the commitment to switch to mirrorless, and then I had to invest in not just the body, but the new lenses. So my total gear investment over 28 years, around $29,000. So compare that to the 40 to 50 to 60 I would have spent chasing every new release. That's a minimum savings of $14,000, $15,000. Now here's where it gets worse. Many photographers aren't just upgrading cameras every few years. They're also buying every little knick-knack paddywhack gadget that hits the market. You see the hobbyist photographer with a better camera than you, and you think, gosh, this person doesn't even do this for a living. I need to keep up appearances if everyone's going to see me at the park and I'm calling myself a pro. That's ego spending, my friend. It's a trap. I've sold over $3 million of my own portraits with super simple gear. So let me give you a framework for evaluating new tools. If a new tool hits the market and it's, let's say, $500 or less, I ask myself these 3 questions. Number 1, will it save me time? So if this tool will help me edit faster or save me 2 hours per session, my time is worth at least $100 an hour. That's a $200 value that might be worth it. Number 2, will it make me more money? If it's something that will help me get an additional add-on sale from a client, then yeah, I'll consider it. Number 3, is this actually a business need or just a want? Now, I'll be honest, I've fallen into this trap with Apple products. A new iPhone comes out and, I want it. And just because my business is making enough money, I can justify it. That's what's cool about owning a business that makes money. I can write things off that I need and use for my business, but I don't really need them. I just want them. But if it wasn't something I needed for my business, I just wouldn't get it. The key question is always this: will it make me more money or save me my bigger asset, which is my valuable time? Many photographers drop $3,000 to $5,000 a year on new gadgets and tools they don't even need. Combine that with unnecessary camera upgrades, that could easily be $5,000 per year. I've kept my annual gear and gadget spending to $1,000 or less. Over 28 years, that's a savings of over $100,000. Here's what's interesting. Those savings didn't hurt my business at all. My clients never asked what camera I use. They care about the portraits on their walls, not what's in my camera bag. Do you go to a restaurant and ask the chef what kind of pans they're cooking on? I don't think so. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, you'll want to get my Gearing Up guide. This free resource shows you what gear you can splurge on, save on, and even steal legally for your business needs. I'll stick that link in the description for you. The 5th thing I don't want to waste money on is expensive lighting equipment that's heavy and bulky to haul around. When I started, everyone said I needed a complete lighting system. Studio strobes, softboxes, light stands, reflectors, modifiers. And yes, I do have a lot of that stuff, but guess what? I bought my entire rail system that mounts my lights to the ceiling secondhand for like a couple $100. And when I built my new gorgeous studio, I just kept them because I owned them. And why spend money when this works perfectly fine? They're a little rickety as I pull them up and down, but who cares? Because we built a giant natural light window. So most of my portraits are using natural light. I get really lazy where I don't even want to bring out those soft boxes if I don't have to. So here's what I learned. If you have good selling skills, you don't need to rely on complicated lighting setups just to justify your prices. If you have them, great. But your clients aren't judging you on your lighting equipment. They're judging you on the finished portraits that are hanging on their walls and the experience that you give them that they loved. So I kept it simple: a reflector, some basic natural light techniques, and I saved my back and my wallet. So if I'm not spending money on props, ads, gear, gadgets, and expensive lighting, what am I spending my money on? One word: education. I invest 6 figures a year on education. That's conferences, mentorship, coaches, business training. Because here's what I figured out early in my career. Better doesn't improve your bookings. It doesn't improve your income. It might improve your confidence a little, but it doesn't grow your business. You know what does? Skills. Marketing skills, selling skills, business skills, people skills. When I stopped leaning on gear and my photography skills as a crutch and I started investing in education, everything changed. I used to think if my photography was better and I had the best gear, people would buy from me, and that's just not true. You need marketing and selling skills. Camera companies and gear manufacturers benefit when you believe you need the latest equipment, but you don't. The biggest thing that delayed my growth early on was thinking gear was the answer. It's not. education is. Listen, if you want help building a profitable photography business, you can buy all the gear you want without breaking the bank on that gear right now. Book a call with my team. We'll talk about where you are, where you want to go, and whether what we have going on around here can help you. I'll stick a link in the description and don't think about it, just sign up.